All right, welcome back to day 13 of building a canoe. Today's not exactly the video I was hoping it to be, so I had to redo the introduction. What's going on is I was doing some work on the stem. Been doing that for a couple of days, and I built out this stem, and it's nice and finished. It's done. It's the way it's supposed to be, to where it's saying in the book, but as it turns out, that's not the right stem for this canoe. So get that. So it's kind of annoying how that's a thing, but that's what happened. So I put a lot of time, a lot of effort, did the video for it, filmed it all. You guys would have another video on that. I gotta take this off, and then I'm gonna use the one I was making for the other side on this side, and then I'll have to make another one. So I'm being set back on the work. So now I gotta glue the stem again and put it back on and reshape it. So that's the stem that I made according to the specifics, and it turns out it's pretty nice, perfect, does exactly what they say. But with the canoe I'm making, so the way it's telling me to do it is you have to put your piece of wood so that it's touching along the points, and then it's supposed to be flush against the stem here. So because I cut away to the shape, it's way too far to what it's actually supposed to be. So the whole way around, this is supposed to be fitting, and it should be touching right across that face of that piece of wood that I have, the whole way, all the way to the top. And as you can see it's good at the top. That's touching. That's what it's supposed to be here. But then at the rest of it, none of it is good. Well, it's quite unfortunate that I do have to redo the stem, but that is the reality of the situation. So, on with the work. I got this one all glued up. It's gonna dry. It's gonna take 24 hours to dry, and I'll be able to put it back on the stem mold and get the job done. So now that I've had to scrap one, I only made enough pieces to make two. So now I gotta go back again on the table saw and make more of these pieces to get a second stem. So, let's get to it. Alright, so I got my 6 pieces cut. I got pretty lucky on that one. I was able to use the original board I used to make these, so I didn't have to plane or use the edger to get a nice square board to start off with. So that was fortunate. There was some leftover piece of that, and so now I got 6 pieces ready for the other one. As soon as this stem is dried, I'll be able to put this one in the steamer and put it back on there. This is the new stem. I took off the other one. I just put the new one. It's not beveled at all. So I made sure that it was in the center. That's the new stem. So here I actually want to move my station 7 back so that my bottom line here hits this side of the piece. So I'm going to try and move it back. Problem I have right now is this is glued on there. So I have to hammer it very carefully to not break it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just redo this stem piece completely and make a new station and then re-glue that. I want to avoid having to do that. So I'm going to go slow at it, try and chip it off and pry it off without having too much damage. And then I'll be able to move it over. It's off, and as I expected, it did a little bit of damage to the plywood, but that's not a big deal. I'll just have to make sure that this here is flat. See how it's not anymore because of all this, but I can cut this off, smooth it out, and then I'll be able to just move this backwards, put it where it's actually supposed to be, and re-glue it. That's all 4, so now I just gotta make sure to clean up that bottom part. Now I just got to fix this so it don't become a problem. So I'm just going to chip away at it, clean it up a bit, see how it turns out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. None of it is truly going to be in the way, even though this is loose. It really doesn't matter because the screws are going through the material. So now that we'll be able to go back in the spot right here. So that's back in place where it should be. Alright, so I'll explain what I meant by having to redo the bevel on the stem. So as you guys can see, this is a straight piece of wood that I have, and I have to put it on the side of the canoe. So this is station 7, 6, and 5, and I have to be touching all 3 points. And as you can see, I'm not touching station 7. But I am touching the stem. So what has to happen is I have to cut back the stem until the piece touches the station. So I just have to shave away, create a bevel until that hits. That's what I was following here. And it talks about it being a bevel going along. And it's showing you the station A, B, C, D, and E. But this is a reference. It is not how it's supposed to be done. So what it does is it's talking about what you should expect from cutting the stem. So it's showing you that at the top, you should be expecting it to be more open, and at the bottom that it should be more narrow, and it in increments. So it gets steeper and steeper, more of a V. All right, so now that this is all caught up, I'm just making the next stem for the other side. I steamed it, and now I'm getting pretty good at it, this being the third one I'm doing, and it went pretty smoothly. got that in place with no issues whatsoever. I was even able to go a little bit slower because I had steamed it longer. From this point on, the video is going to be on the previous work that I did. The footage that I got is now obsolete, seeing how I removed the stem. I ended up doing a poll on my Facebook and Instagram wanting to see if, although the footage is obsolete, whether or not I should still post a video. I had more people say yes, so I won't be doing the full video as I had planned with all the footage. I'm just gonna be putting this end part as the video. Well, on with that work. Top section, flat section is the A, so this one. And then when it first starts to turn, it gets into B. And then when you're at the peak of your turn, it gets into C. And then when you get past your peak, transfers to D, which is this one. And then when you get to the end, it finishes on the E. 3/4 is what the depth of the stem is, and then the center of it is 1/8. So like the width of the stem is 7/8, so we need to make lines for that. So that's the outside of the piece. So as it goes down, it's more and more steep. Now that I got these, what I gotta do is put them on the table saw, pass them this way, and have the blade be on the right angle to go and slice through that part. Alright, so there we have it. All 5 pieces that I'll need to use as a guide to change the bevel on the stem. Done, and as we can see at the top we have the A, and the A continues on, transition to the B, and it's fully B here. And then we're going to go over into the C. And now that's fully C. And then we'll transition to D. Transfers to E from here. Alright, that's it. That marks the end of day 13. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate the people who makes it to the end of the video. And yeah, so I had made these molds, and turns out I didn't need them, so I did some work for nothing. I didn't fully read through the page. It's my bad. I should have been more aware of all the information and known that what was on the book, what was this part here, was actually just guidelines and not the actual work that needed to be done. I have a very nice stem out of it, but useless. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys have someone that you think would enjoy this kind of content, share it to them. And feel free to leave a comment. You guys have any suggestions, whatever, I'm there to respond. And Tyler, you left a message saying that you want to be on the show, but if you want to come do some airtime, you got to come over. See you here. Consider subscribing if you guys enjoy what you guys are seeing. And I'm up to 20. I know I'm just a little small channel, but every subscriber helps. Well, that's it. See you next time.